Man, it's nice out today. Just about everyone at some point in their life, I think, asks the question, what's my purpose? I feel like for most people, it's probably somewhere between like 30 and 40 years old, because when you're younger, you kind of have these big dreams and goals and you're working towards them. And then life kind of happens and you get a little jaded, or things don't go as planned, and you start to wonder, what the heck am I doing? In fact, I kind of imagine that age is a lot lower today, just looking at the world that we live in, and the depression and the loneliness that teens are going through. I imagine that a lot more people at younger ages are starting to ask, what is my goal? What is the purpose of my life? Most people don't necessarily just one day ask the question, what's my purpose? But rather, they're starting to feel kind of down and negative. They lose self-confidence and they start to wonder what their value is. And it's kind of as a result of, multiple questions and circumstances that we start to seek a purpose in our life. Man, it's closed. So it's funny, I just wanted to shoot a simple video today at a park. Park's closed, so I came over here to the police department to find out if I could do it. Nobody is at the police department, so I don't know. Definitely an interesting turn of events today. So I had what I thought was a well thought out and laid out plan for this video today. And a big part of the plan was to go to this park near my house, and it ended up that the gates were closed. I showed you that. I was going to park in the neighborhood across the street and just walk over, but I was like, you know what? Chances are in a small neighborhood like mine, I'm going to end up getting a ticket. But it actually ties in pretty well to this whole thing, about purpose, because sometimes we have a plan and we have it all laid out and we know exactly the way things are supposed to play out, and things go a very different direction, and it sort of can mess things up. So I know for me in my life, that's certainly the way it was. I don't think I really had a plan. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then and things just pretty quickly changed. I didn't really get too upset by it. At one point, I was working a job, and I was just absolutely miserable there. And I don't know if you've gotten to a place where you hate going to work, and that's where I was. And it got to the point probably about halfway through my time there that they put us in cubicles. Does anybody still do cubicles? If you work in a cubicle, it's a good time to start looking for a new job. And so I would get up every morning, go to work, go to my gray cubicle, my solitary confinement, spend 8 hours there pretty much in silence, go home, vent to my wife, be all negative to everybody, go to bed, and just repeat it over again. There's a song by Nine Inch Nails called "Every Day Is Exactly the Same," and that was my theme song for a pretty long time. So I want to share with you what I think is the starting point, but I know that there are some of you who are just not going to like it very much. So I'm telling you now, I'm urging you, just stick with it. Stay with me. Obviously, you came to this video because you're trying to find some answers, you're trying to find some meaning and purpose in your life. There are some great videos out there. In fact, when you search for this topic, there's a TED Talk video that's really good, but I think there's even a step before that we can take. All right, so don't get mad at me, but here it is. What you need to do is, back in, I think the mid-1600s, there was a group of English guys that were meeting in London at a place called Westminster Abbey. And they formed a document called the Westminster Confession. And the very first question that they answer is, what is the chief end of man? So in other words, what's the grand purpose of man? What are we even here for? And the answer to that question is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. So wait, hang in there, don't get mad, don't leave, just hear me out. Really what I want to kind of lay out for you is just the foundation, the starting point. Relationships are really important. Your job is really important. There's lots of things that add to purpose, but I really do think this is the starting point, to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. So what does that even mean? Well, it's not God with a small g. It's not just pick any God you want. It is talking about the God of the Bible. So you might be like, I don't really read the Bible, I don't really like the Bible, I don't really believe in a God. There is another guy from a long time ago named Pascal, and he wrote something called The Wager. And The Wager was written to people who had a lot of doubts about God. He basically said, take a risk. What do you have to lose? You'll live a good moral life. People will find you honorable and a man of integrity. That's not a bad thing. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. But at least you live this great life that people are going to remember. Just this season, Tom Brady retired from football. And if there's anybody that deserves glory, it's Tom Brady. And I don't like him. I've never been a fan. But you can't deny the accomplishments he has and the work that he put into what he did as a quarterback. And he certainly received and rightly received glory in his life. So glory is just basically giving somebody the honor and the credit that they deserve for the things that they've done. And so when the Westminster Confession says to glorify God, it just means give him the credit due. I'm sitting out here on a beautiful day in the middle of February, and it's winter, so I'm going to enjoy this while I can. And I'm breathing in the air, and I give God credit for the air I'm breathing in and filling my lungs. At any moment, that can go away. And so I glorify God just by the breath that I take every day, by the relationships I have. I glorify God by putting those people in my life and the good friends that are in my life. And then the second part to the confession is to enjoy God. I recognize God. I give credit to God through my experiences, through my relationships, through creation. Again, it's this beautiful day out here. It's blue sky. It's a cool breeze. And so for me, I think I enjoy God the most when I'm at the ocean, when I'm at the shore. You just see the power of the waves and the blue sky. It's just an awesome experience. And for me, that's one of the ways I enjoy God. I also enjoy God in my relationship with my wife and my kids and the fun times that we have together and the struggles that we go through together. And the thing is, when we make these things our primary purpose and not our job, not the things that we want to get, not the money that we have, it really sets the tone for everything else and makes everything a lot more enjoyable and a lot more pleasant. So I encourage you to start here by recognizing who God is, giving him the credit for what he's done, and then enjoying what you see all around you, the people you see, the creation, the food. The flavors of food, that's a pretty good one. So many people are alone and depressed, especially today in the world that we're living in. And really, if we set this as our purpose, glorify God, enjoy God, it can really be the launch pad for everything else in our lives. And this is part one of at least 3 videos, but hopefully many videos to come about purpose, confidence, the value that you have, and joy in our life.
You want a small, medium, or large? Is there a seat for you?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, show a little love and hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, step it up a little more and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss any future videos. Thank you again for checking out The Jeff Bruce.